Okay, good evening once more. Like I said, tonight we will try to start looking at various techniques, which is broken down into components in business analysis to help us really understand how we can start a business analysis, how we can start solving a problem. There is challenges. How do we start? So this is how we can get started. I'll take us to our lecture note for tonight. So the first approach is to understand the business environment. Like we said, a business analysis involves set of components that are essential for understanding, analyzing, and improving processes. And we are starting from understanding the business environment. You need to understand the business environment. That's the first thing we need to understand. Like you need to, if you are new to an organization, the first thing, okay, you receive your employment letter, you know you're a business analyst. The first thing you need to understand is the business environment. That is number one thing. Or if you have, even if you're within the organization and there is a project or problem you want to work or to solve, or a change you want to bring, you need to understand the environment, the surrounding environment, what is involved within that environment, within that domain. So that is what we mean by understanding business environment. Gaining a comprehensive understanding of business environment or the industry, market conditions, regulatory environment, and overall business context. That is it. And we have some techniques we can use to approach that. We have market research, we have PESTLE analysis, we have industry report, and we have trend analysis. I know when we're trying to do market research, when we are doing on our current projects, you know, if we have treated business analysis very well, it would have been easier for us, you know, trying to do market research. The most popular we can easily apply is PESTLE analysis. We have equally industrial reports. When we talk about industrial reports, there's a lot of consultancy firms. We can check on their reports. You talk about trend analysis, you can equally look at trend, market trend. A lot of business articles, journals. As business analysts, you need to be reading some of these articles. Like if you go to Gartner, we are going to come to Gartner. This Gartner is a consultancy firm that provide a lot of reports about industries, about companies, about products, about a lot of things we can leverage on to understand the market better. So let's look at this particular PESTLE analysis. PESTLE analysis within CRM system or CRM domain, using PESTLE analysis to understand the regulatory environment, impacting customer data handling, and market research to identify emerging trends and customer preferences. So please put yourself on mute. I can hear something from the background. And yeah, so, but what is this word called PESTLE? PESTLE is a short form. If we will try to look at it, the full meaning of PESTLE, PESTLE, P is for political, and E is for economical, and S is for social, and T is for technological, and L is for legal, and E is for environment. All these are various factors affecting a business. So we'll try to understand various factors, understanding the business where we operate. If we are trying to undertake a project, these are something we need to understand. That's how we understand the market first. Help us to be guided. You help us to be informed before we can start planning anything. Under political, we have what we call political and government stability. All of us know what that means. If you are starting a project and there is no instability within that market, there is political instability, you know that is a risk that is going to affect whatever business or whatever project you plan to understand. So you have to take good consideration before you start anything. So all of us, political instability can come in so many ways. A country can be having unrest and things. That's political instability, like civil war or things like that. Or political orientation. We have local and national election. We have taxation, and these are a lot that can affect our project. We have trade union. We have wars, both home and international. We have pandemics, pandemic policies. We have grant and funding. We have pressure groups. All these factors within all these small factors within political environments can affect our project in one way or the other. The way we want to solve the problem is, these are things we need to understand, or that's what we call market. Help us to understand the market environment where we are operating. If there is no the political climate is not favorable within this, as a business analyst, these are some of the things you need to note in order to try to understand the kind of solution you are bringing or the way you are trying to. You have to understand look at the political climate before you start anything. For some of us that working in oil companies, if you go to somewhere in Nigeria, in Port Harcourt, we have some of all these, like in Ijoland, we have some powerful trade unions, people. As a business analyst, they want you to do this, you want you to analyze this. You need to understand about this political environment, trade union. Some of these people, if you do not understand that terrain very well or the environment, you are going to face a serious problem. So many of us know it. If there is pandemic going on, policies, things like you need to understand what is there any pandemic? Is there any pandemic policy, like we saw what happened during COVID-19? Or there any like local and national election coming up? Some of all these things are the factors we need to look at into when we talk about political environment. Then we'll come to economic environment, economical. You look at national debt, you look at consumer spending, you look at government spending, you look at inflation. So these are some of the things we need to look at before you start jumping into a project. A project where there is high inflation, you look at customer or consumer spending power. You look at government spending, where government is borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, like in our case. You have to be careful if you are trying to go into some. You look at national debt here and government spending. So these are some of the things we really need to look into before diving into a project. I'm not tailoring this to any particular project now. These are just generic environments we need to know. What are the type of project or the domain? You must look at some of these things as it affects our own particular project or as it affects our domain. We have unemployment level, taxation, exchange rate, supply chain volatility, overall economic situation. These are things we need to understand in order to be very well informed in advising the stakeholders. Then we have social factors. Social factors like demographics. We have customer attitude and buying pattern. We have media, we have influencers and role models, we have brand image, you have ethical issues, we have consumer spending, we have post-pandemic lifestyle, and we have cultural shifts. So these are things we need to understand before we design strategies. Like in our own case, we want to expand our social media platform. This is the project we are working on, and we want to, like, we're doing market research. How do we do this? We need to look at the demography wherever we want to. We're starting it. What is the demography? Demography is we can look at age group. We can look at like people living in particular location. We can look at income, people, the amount of classes, people living within certain classes, high class people, low class people, middle class, below middle class. These are some of the things you need to take into consideration before you go into even planning and execution. If you are trying to target, for instance, we are looking at the end of this, we are going to use the social media to target some demography. We need to understand the demography we need to target. We can't just be pushing our campaign to general. We might not realize that we might not make enough effect. The impact might not be much if it's not well targeted, but you cannot target it well if you do not understand it. These are where you can come in using social aspect of PESTLE to do the analysis, analyzing, okay, what are the rates, what are the age brackets of the people that really are so, sensitized about social media. If you are targeting people between the age of 65 to 70, yeah, it's only few of them that might respond or try to join if we are pushing our campaign. If you are targeting people within, let's say, between the age of 17 to 25, you will see that this kind of people will give listening ear, because some of these people, they always comparing different social medias, looking at which social media will give them more benefits. Some of them are trying to get work in social media. They are trying to look for any benefits. What are the benefits? Any small benefits they can get from a social media, they will migrate to that social media. So these are what demographic can help us do, and customer attitude and buying pattern. In our social media, we have a marketplace. If we are trying to market our social media, are trying to market our marketplace within our social media, you cannot just go to people, anyhow people, to start marketing marketplace. So many people do not understand this e-commerce business, but some people are going to be happy about it. So in this case, you need to, like university students, they are going to be happy about it. People with have access to smartphone, people have access to income brackets equally, people that can, a bit enlightened. These are the people you can start telling them about social media marketplace. So, and influencers and their role models, we already talk about trying to see local influencers within our local. So these are things we need to understand, and you can see the way I'm talking about it. If you are trying to use this personal analysis to do analysis, we are now, as a group, we are trying to use personal analysis, picking these items point by point to do a brainstorming. You can see we are making a headway. Then we have technology. Technology demand, technology development and current and future, level of research and development funding, intellectual property rights and copyright, life cycle of a product, government investment in technology and internet connectivity. So in a society, a community where you're trying, you have to understand their appetites towards technology. Do they have enough sensitization? How are they embracing technology? These days, if you come to UK, every company, every society, we're talking about digital transformation. If you go to some countries, they are not talking about digital transformation. They are talking about how hungry they are. They just want to eat food. So if you have products you want to sell to the market, you try to understand their appetite, their awareness. In Nigeria, we're becoming very technological conscious, and it's a good thing for us. In some country, they are just beginning, but in Nigeria, if we're trying to push, equally we need to look at demographics. As we're looking at demographics, which demography have good appetite for good technology, or embracing or looking at the trendy technology. These are things we need to look at, or how we can use this personal analysis to do this market research equally. Then we look at equally government funding, or how government is taking technology. In some places, you see governments are investing so much in technological infrastructure. In a country where government is investing so much in technology, that should be a good place for you to consider your business. If there is, if it's not saturated, like here in UK or in US, so many domain area are already saturated. So if you are trying to come in, although government is investing so much, you will still have to struggle to break into the market. Now, if you are going to America now to start an e-commerce business, I'm not saying that it's not going to work, but a lot of customers have become so loyal to so many of these e-commerce brands. Some people are already so loyal to Amazon. Some people are so loyal to eBay. Some people are so loyal to different e-commerce platform people. So it's going to be difficult to try to pull them out of such areas. So with that, you have to look at technology and life pattern or loyalty. There's a lot of things you need to balance here if you are really serious, so that you won't go and start wasting funds. But looking at area like Nigeria, you see our appetite towards new technology is very high. We really desire it, and we don't have enough of these good technologies. They are just coming in. So you can see the appetite is there, and government are making favorable policies. Yeah, they are not coming the way they are supposed to do, but I think government are beginning to wake up gradually, and that's why you see is favoring. If you look at those, like all the fintech companies that come in, you see that they are doing well, or they've done well. The government trying to regulate them very well, but the appetite is very, very favorable. Then you look at legal aspect of it, legislation in areas such as competition, health and safety, and employment law, environmental legislation, change and effects on different law like EU and Brexit, pandemic law, and regulatory bodies. You need to look at various regulation that is regulating your business environment. In our own case, we are trying to dive into social media business. We need to understand the legislation in Nigeria. Are we compliant? Is there any capitalization? What are the things that we need to do? We need to understand that. Even if you are trying to implement a software or a solution for your company, you must equally understand regulation guiding something like data consumption. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about this data regulatory bodies like data protection. You can see in UK, it's already a law that every country must have a data protection officer. So these are some of the legislation you need to look at. And any software or application or you want to bring in for your company as a solution, you must make sure that such softwares or such solution are compliant to the law. If you are implementing a solution, for instance, an ERP solution, and that ERP solution is not, the system is not compliant, it did not state clearly how you are going to use customers' data, it might be difficult for that project to scale. Like in our own case, some of the application I want to publish in the Play stores and the Apple stores. They have to reject my application and have to come back again and again until they make sure that all my application is compliant in terms of data privacy policies. So you must understand the privacy policies, copyright, a lot of things. You need to understand that before you can dive into a lot of some of these things we are doing. So, and one will talk about the last one being environment. We look at global warming, pollution, plastic waste, attitude of customers, medias, protesters, and lawmakers on the environment. Renewable energy, the frustration, green issues, sustainability, and environmental protection. If you are working on a project as a business analyst and you want to solve a problem as well, and you want to understand the market, environmental factors is one issue. Well, it depends, you understand how the environmental factors are going to affect you. I had a project from one company from Port Harcourt. They came to mine gas within our locality. In our locality, we have cooking gas in a commercial quantity. So, but when they came in, we have to do a thorough impact assessment, and at the end of the day, we said no, we declined that they cannot operate because of the hazard. These are environmental, so you need to understand this. And it's one thing that is becoming, which is a big problem to us, looking at the Niger Delta areas. Environmental issues is already a problem to that area. So more firm coming in there, you must make sure can you withstand the environmental tussle from the community, from the government, regulation from the government. That's why you see so many foreign oil firms are closing down, because people are becoming more conscious. Environmental impact, negative impact, the gain. You cannot just come and give people peanuts and start mining their resources and looking at the environmental hazard. So these are things, you're working in a firm and they want you to understand the markets or understand the business environment. These are things you need to look into. So this is not tailored to any particular project at this time. It's generally understanding the business. What are the factors affecting the business within your domain where you are working? So if you are in oil and you're working in oil and gas, I know you should be looking at environmental factors very, very well. If you are in a more data-related area, you should be looking at data protection law. And even if within the environment, you look at environmental laws, attitude, people's attitude to environmental. You see all this global warming, things like that. So whatever you do, you try to understand which of these factors. All of them might not really affect your business, but at least one or two or three of them might pose a challenge to our business or might become a gain or become a strength. So we combine this equally with what we call SWOT analysis to help us understand how some of these factors can help us within our business and how it can become a risk within our business. So in our own area, we're into social media business, community building, So we must focus on something like social factors. Our company we are highly dependent on technology, trending technology. We must make sure that the people that we are taking our product to are people that appreciate good technology. Your technology might be so good, but the people that you are taking your business or product to, they do not understand that technology. All they want is cheap products. They are hungry. They want to eat food. They want, if you bring in food at a discounted rate, you are going to get them. If you are selling anything that will help them save little amount of change, these are people below average people. These are what they are trying to, that is what the only thing they want to hear. That there is a platform where you get, they are doing giveaway. This is where they want to be. So you need to understand. So people understand different type of people, demography, to understand their need. These are the things. And if you're looking at PESTLE analysis, if you combine PESTLE analysis very well, combine all these factors very well, look at them very well, which one is going to affect you, which one is going to try to use this to understand where your markets belong. That is it. That is understanding business environment. It's very, very important. This can help you understand where your market belongs. And once you understand that, you become more informed to take decision and to talk authoritatively when we are with the stakeholders. When you start engaging the stakeholders and you start showing them that you understand the market very well, they see that you have strong mouths. For instance, now some of you are now trying to start to work with us as a business analyst. Like, yes, we have been working in nearas.com, but all of you at the moment, all of you are project managers. And now you want to come in. We see we are trying to understand the market. That's what we are doing, market research. But we are doing that as project managers. We are not doing that as business analysts. And you can see some of us might be struggling to do the analysis very well because, yes, so many of you try to reach me during this market research and analysis. We can see so many of you are struggling to understand the market because we are project managers. We are not business analysts. That's why we are struggling to understand the market. But if we are business analysts and we understand this PESTLE analysis very well, and me here trying to engage some of you as business analysts, because we've seen that our project managers cannot give us a good market research or analysis to understand the market, to understand the business environment of Nearas. The project managers try to do that, but they cannot really come with a fantastic analysis that will help us understand the markets we are trying to penetrate. You, as a business analyst, we employ you, you come and you present PESTLE analysis before us as a way to help us understand the market. Then you start telling us that we need to put social factor in order to understand the market. We need to understand the market demographics. We need to understand the customer attitude. We need to understand the media influencers, brand ethics. Then we need to understand people's appetite towards technology. When you start saying this, maybe you see the stakeholders will want to listen very attentively to you, because for me, you are making a point. And that is how you now start telling us about a lot of legislation we need to key in to understand as well. Telling us that is there any law guiding social media platform in Nigeria? What is the law saying? You try to understand what is the law saying, what are the regulations currently in Nigeria in terms of social media. Then you telling us that, yeah, even if there is no law in Nigeria, we still need to make sure that we are data protection compliant, as it is a global regulation or legislation. When you start telling us some of all these things, we'll be very happy to listen to you. You start telling us about customer spending, as we are trying to increase our spending or do more budget in developing our e-commerce within the social media. Like I told you people yesterday, we're looking at, developing our marketplace further. So if we're trying to do that, you tell us that we need to understand how many percentage of Nigerians understand e-commerce business at the moment? What are their spending power? What is the internet penetration? These are the things you start telling us. What is the level of inflation, unemployment? How many people are disposable? What are the disposable consumer income? How many people are willingly to place order online? So if you understand that, for me, if you look at Nigeria, we are embracing e-commerce business so much these days. So these are things we need to look at. So when you look at all this, understand it very well, and you try to use it to talk to your stakeholders, I don't see the reason why you should not capture their attention when you are making your analysis. So that is it. When you understand this, understand market very well. This is nearest.com. They are within social media, and you understand everything about Nearest and what the market is saying about them, what is favorable for them within the market and what is not favorable for them within the market. Yes, you can now dive in and start doing your stakeholder analysis. Then you can identify your stakeholders and try to start engaging your stakeholders, start collecting requirements from your stakeholders. So these are the things. So for me, I think the first thing is to understand the market first, understand the environment first. And once that's done, you have to then start understanding your stakeholders. So that's it. But in some cases, you see some people will swap this. They will say stakeholder analysis first. Is first, let me understand my stakeholders, and then start understanding the business. But for me, business comes in first. At this point, we are not talking about understanding the project or the project brief. We're not even talking about the project brief. We're not talking about any stakeholder here. For me, we are talking about where you find yourself, where you are standing with one leg. You need to understand their market, where they are operating very well. They just get you employed in LNG, or Slumberger, or F, or Shell, or Chevron, or in NMPC. What do you do? I know so many of us, once you get your employment letter, once you accepted the offer, or even when you're applying, The first thing, in order to make sure you impress the hiring manager during the interview, you try to understand their business, what they are doing. You have to go to their website. You look at their vision. You look at what they are doing. You look at challenges they are having. What are the challenges this oil company or oil companies generally having in Nigeria? As a business analyst, that will be a smart move for you to understand the general climate of oil company before we even talk about any specific problem we are going to solve for them. You need to understand the general challenges oil companies in Nigeria are facing, and where are these oil, what are the location, where is the location most oil companies. So these are the things we need to do when we talk about PESTLE analysis. It's very, very encompassing. It covers a lot. If you understand it very well, how to use it, then it's going to give you a wider insight about the market. So that's it. The second thing we need to look at is stakeholder analysis. But because of time, if I start creating stakeholder analysis, it's going to take us like another 1 hour, because I don't like, there are some topics I don't like treating shabbily. So because of that, we are not going to dive into stakeholder analysis. We are going to devote a full session for only stakeholder analysis. So let's just use tonight to understand business environment. So if we can understand this very well, I think that would be a good thing for us to take home tonight. So, and we'll get to understand how deep you understand it during your question and answer session, which we are going to begin at this moment. So let me understand how you understand this and this PESTLE analysis. Let me see your understanding of PESTLE analysis. If you want to talk, you raise your hand. Or if you have question, rather. Or do we all understand PESTLE analysis? Everything I say, how you can use each factor to see how your market, where it affects your market, whether positively or negatively. Have we captured that?
Yes, sir.
Because the quietness is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good.
Yes, sir. We got it.
Okay, that's very good. If we got it, okay. Okay, now we've got this. For some of us that have been struggling with our market research, then I think, because I said if we had known about PESTLE maybe in one way or the other, we would have leveraged on that to do a better market analysis. But we can use it to refine whatever we've done, or our understanding is going to make sense. So oh, you say you guys understand everything. How some of you are still raising their hands? Ifunanya.
Good evening, Mr. Sir.
Good evening.
Sir, please, this PESTLE analysis, can it be used in all the market research, no matter maybe no matter what you're working on? Is it
That's
same
why That's why I say that it applies to every market. You might not apply everything to, but it will help you to understand the market you are operating. What are the factors? From PESTLE, you look at what are the factors that is affecting your market. How is it affecting your market? Is it positively? Is it negatively? How can you leverage on the insight from the PESTLE to drive process within the industry? For instance, I use social media, and within PESTLE, we saw social aspect of it, we saw technological aspect of it, and these are some of areas we can, narrow our analysis towards social, because we are working on social media. So look at various factors within the social, because we are working on technology. We are a technology company. We are IT firm. You look at how that can equally help us. You look at economic people that were trying to take this product to. What are their disposable income? These are the things. It's a social media, and we want to start selling products in the social media, in the marketplace. That is an e-commerce. So how many people are disposed to start placing orders within the e-commerce? Some people, even if you bring that e-commerce closer, they will prefer to go to the market, where they will have to do thorough bidding before they can buy anything. Some people will go around the whole market, bid everywhere before they will start making sure that nobody is cheating them. You try to understand such segments. If we are doing market targets, such segment of people, we shouldn't waste our time trying to go and sell, because such people are not going to buy it, because social media or e-commerce are not giving you opportunity to bargain. The price is there already. You are not bargaining anything. All you just need to add product to the shop, to the cart, and place order, and they will come and drop it. So many of those people, if you are telling them to bring delivery cost, they are not going to agree. They will say, no, this delivery cost, what are you talking about, sir? We want to, like people in Port Harcourt, they say that before they can buy their t-shirt, they have to come and pay in bulk, so that it will reduce their delivery cost, which is a wise decision for them. I like them, because, yeah, you have to be critical in whatever you do. But some people like that, when you see people that are very thorough, then but some people who love soft life, this kind of e-commerce we are talking about, if you go to Lakey, you see some of these ladies there, all they like is they will be watching movies and adding orders to baskets, and then they will bring it to their house. That kind of soft life, some people love it so much. Not everybody love it, but some of those people can afford it easily. So these are the areas we need to target. So it's a factor. If we are doing market research now in near us to understand the market, how we, design our campaign, how do we start launching attack in the market? There are some areas you don't need to start, even in the military. Military people, you can use this. Before the military, they start launching attack, they make sure that there is a place where they are sending their missiles. Military, if they are sending missiles to civilian areas, that is called genocide. If they don't do market analysis very well, so this is not only within even it's everywhere. Can add it in every, like what say, the military intelligence. They can ask, hire you within the military intelligence to analyze using PESTLE on the how the military, how do they launch attack, if maybe they are planning to have a, all this, you see, conflict going on, military people are launching attack. There are some attack they will launch, they will not go free. They will prosecute them for genocide. And you know that a lot of military people, a lot of military generals in Africa, they are already serving because so many of them did not understand market research very well. That a country is having a war doesn't mean you have to be sending missiles anywhere. You find the military people, not civilian people. If you with this, you can know what we call market segmentation. You segment the market, know where you are targeting and where you are not supposed to be targeting. Some places, you don't need to be wasting your resources on such people. In Facebook, if you want to place campaign, they will give you opportunity to choose even some, I think, states you want to choose. You can choose somewhere like, in this business we're doing, based on my experience, there are some places in North we cannot even, because they are beginning to appreciate technology, but some of them are not so, have not adapted it so much, In some places like Lagos, they already are aware. So if you are looking at people who have high awareness, you are going to get such people in Lagos, and you are going to get such people in Port Harcourt, you are going to get such people in Abuja. Let me just use these 3 states or these 3 cities. That should be a number 1 if you want to get good good lead. So these are the things, how this is going to help you. I equally talk about oil and gas, how you can use environment aspect of it within oil and gas. And then we'll talk about regulation. So the point here is that, to answer your question, I try to repeat what I said. It can be applied anywhere. It's a technique you can apply in any market to understand the market very well. It's not limited to any particular market. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Obonna Kenneth.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Charles.
Good evening.
I just want to find out if there's a template for this PESTLE analysis, or is this something we can use Word documents to do?
You only see the one I captured is a template. Didn't you see the image I captured? I was talking from that image.
Yeah, I saw it.
So you can, it's usable. There are, that one is like the template is not a big deal. You can use this particular one I use as a very streamlined something. And if you even search for it within there are so many of them in the internet, But this one I used is enough, to get you started. It listed, like, it's a generic template. It's not talking about any particular industry. All you need is try to see how this is affecting any of these factors, is affecting your business environment, and see how they are affecting it. Is it positively? Is it negatively? It will help you to understand. You are not going to be cracking your head. When they tell you to do market analysis without any kind of template like this, all you need to do is start scratching your head because you don't know where to start. And I see so many of you start sending questionnaires. That questionnaires, trying to understand the market, is going to be difficult. Trying to gather send questionnaire, I just didn't want to ask people to stop. It's part of the learning. I want to try so many approaches. That is learning. But sending questionnaires to gather report to understand what market sentiment or this is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very time consuming. Before you can send questionnaires, at the end of the day, you wait for the questionnaire to come back. And at the end of the day, when the questionnaire comes back, you might not even get enough information. So you use something like this, you already seen where you need to start hitting point by point. And for me, it's easier. It's a key technique for you to understand the market you want to operate on. If you do not understand the market before, that should be something you should leverage on. In our own case, I pinpointed 3 factors that can, affect us immediately, affect us either negatively or positively. Economic challenges, disposable income, internet penetration, which is technology, and people that have access to smartphone. You look at it, that is technology, having access, economic technology. How many people have access? Our business is application. And where do we put this application? This application must be downloaded in a very good device. So if we are taking it to some of these people who are not using touch screen, like a phone that cannot be downloaded, it means they will not even listen to you. So these are the factors, economic factor. I'm talking about our market, nearest market, talking about economic factor. Disposable income. Most people here will see these days, Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are moving away from below average, moving away from poverty line to, middle class. It's something to say, although things are generally hard, I have to be honest, due to, bad government, but the truth is that a lot of Nigerians are moving to the middle class. The disposable income is beginning to increase, and people can afford good phone. A lot of people in Nigeria can afford good mobile devices to download this application. So it means that looking at the economic is a bit favorable to us. Our markets, people can download our application. A lot of people can do that. Looking at what is happening with other companies, a lot of people are using social media in Nigeria. And again, looking at how many of these people are even willing to start placing order online as we're trying to invest more in our marketplace. Yes, a lot of people are appreciating it. Online buying is increasing. Then look at technology. What are various technologies? Number 1 technology is internet. What is the level of internet penetration in Nigeria? You see, the level of internet penetration is beginning to widen up. Before now, how many Nigerians will be ready to log in online, bring out their money, spend 1 hour online in a class trying to learn? You see that there is generational change. There's a generational shift. If you don't have a framework like PESTLE, it's not going to help you to keep up pointing on all these areas. You might have it in your head, but you won't know how to analyze it. You won't know how to put it together. So that is it. So you can apply it in you can see how I'm just applying it in our own market. That is how somebody in oil and gas will come and start looking at it, looking at how we can use to analyze oil and gas, and those in different sectors. So that's it. So we already have a framework. It's a framework. We have the template there. I always upload lecture notes for you to leverage on that. So there's no need of asking you to create PESTLE. You already have one. If you want to recreate it and modernize it, that is allowed. So I think going forward, our market analysis will be the more we are going further on the understanding, the more even understanding SMART. We'll have SMART analysis. We'll have SWOT analysis. These are things we can use to understand, requirements, how a good requirement, how market as well. So by the time we combine 2 or 3 of these analyses together, that is what you as a business analyst, understanding the market. And when you'll be talking to stakeholders, you'll be talking authoritatively about the market. They will not understand their markets. You come and tell them where they are, how it's operating, what is affecting them, what they should do, what they should not do. That is what we call domain experts. Because you understand the market, they are looking for you because you're a domain expert. This is what we call part of what we call domain expertise or consultant. All right. I think with this, the first day I heard about this, I didn't understand it. So if you are not understanding it, I'm not taking offense. But I believe when you look at it again, you understand it 50%. By the time you look at it again the 3rd time, you master it. So don't worry. All right. Thank you, guys. The weekend is still just beginning. It's still 10 minutes past 8. So if you're planning to go to a club, don't say that Mr. Charles deny you going out this night. So I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, sir.